All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. I got another video for you. As usual, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I appreciate it very much. Some people that asked me about the Olympics. You know, everybody's crapping all over the Dream Team all of a sudden, which I just find hilarious. People don't even know what they're talking about. But I wasn't going to touch the Olympics. I like to stick with the NBA. That's really where most of my knowledge, research lies. But since there's so many players in the NBA that are in the Olympics, I figured I'd look into it a little bit and give it a shot. So, as we know, everybody is crapping all over the Dream Team. Suddenly, they're old because they're just talking about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, which, again, I don't know where they get this stuff from because both of them performed great in the Olympics. And first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to talk about those two players in particular, Magic Johnson. Now, Magic Johnson had a one-year layoff. I heard Chris Broussard say this morning that, he was 1 year away from basketball. He did play in the All-Star game and he won the MVP, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, after the Olympics in '92, Magic didn't play any organized ball until 1996. He did come back. He played 32 games. He started 9 of them. That's it. That's all he played. I think he played about 28 minutes a game. That's it. Now remember, that's a 4-year layoff. Okay? And by the end of the season, Magic was 36. Well, he started the year at 36 years old. By the end of it, he was about 36 and a half, 36 and 3/4 years old. So, in the little bit of time that he did play, his stat line was 14.6 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 6.9 assists. He shot 46.6 from the field. He was obviously rusty. 37.9 from 3 and 85.6 at the line. Now, this is a 36-year-old Magic Johnson after a 4-year layoff from organized basketball. He played 32 games, only started 9. He finished 12th in MVP. How many people do you know started 9 games and finished 12th in MVP? I'd love to know the answer to that. In the playoffs, Magic averaged, here's his line coming off the bench. 15.3 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 84.8 at the line. Okay? So I think the 92 Magic would have been elite level. Obviously in 91 he finished second MVP, got that team into the finals, beat a very good Portland team. I think it was, right? Beat Portland in 91. Yeah, beat Portland in 91 to get to the finals. They had a good team. The Lakers were definitely a good team. They were top 5 offense, top 5 defense. But anyway, Magic was not washed. He was absolutely not washed. He would have been lethal no matter who they played. If they were to play this 2014. And then Larry Bird in 92, he averaged 20.2 points per game. Actually about a point more than he did the year before. 9.6 rebounds per game, his most since 1986. Now remember, he played less minutes. I think he played about 36 minutes, played 45 games. 9.6 rebounds was his most since 1986. 6.8 assists per game was the 4th best of his career. That's in 92. And 2.8 turnovers a game, which was the lowest of his career. Now that's a per game average. That's not total. So the fact that he only played 45 games doesn't matter. 2.8 turnovers, the lowest of his career in 92. He shot 92.6% at the free throw line, 3rd best of his career. And he shot 40.6% three-point shooting. Does that sound like somebody's washed to you? In the playoffs, he only averaged 26.8 minutes per game. He only took 10.5 field goal attempts, but he shot 50% and had 5.3 assists to 1.5 turnover ratio. That's 3.5 to 1. That's a great ratio. Bird and Magic were not prime versions, but they were still elite level players. They were great. Now, the 1992 team. The first team All-NBA in 92 was Chris Mullin, Karl Malone, David Robinson, Michael Jordan, and Clyde Drexler. All 5 were on the Dream Team. The second team All-NBA, Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, Patrick Ewing, John Stockton, and Tim Hardaway. Hardaway was the only player not of the first 2 teams of All-NBA to not be on the Dream Team. Bird didn't play enough games to qualify. He was more or less a legacy spot. Magic wasn't in the league, neither was Christian Laettner. But still, 9 of the top 10 first and second team All-NBA players were on the Dream Team. First team All-Defense, you had Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman. They were not on the Dream Team, but Jordan, Pippen, and Robinson were. Second team All-Defense, you had Buck Williams, Michael Williams, Larry Nance, Patrick Ewing, and John Stockton. So you had 3 first team and 2 second team on that Dream Team. That's 5 guys that were on both the All-NBA and the All-Defense. The 2024 Olympic team, they had 1 first-team All-NBA player, Jason Tatum. They had 3 second-teamers, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and Anthony Edwards. Kawhi Leonard was on the team, but now he's not. And Jalen Brunson, who's not on the team. Third-team All-NBA, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Tyrese Halliburton, and Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis, who's not on the team. So 4 third-teamers, 3 second-teamers, and 1 first-teamer. So 8 players on the All-NBA team in 2024, 9 in the 92. So I'd say right there, and that does not count Magic and Bird at all. 2024 All-Defense, Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo are the only first-teamers on the 24 Olympic team. Rudy Gobert, Herbert Jones, Wembanyama, of course, they're not on the team. Second team, All-Defense, Caruso, Jalen McDaniels, Suggs, those 3 are not on the team. Drew Holiday and Derek White are. So you got 2 first team, 2 second team. The 92 had 3 first team, 2 second team. So again, I would say, and the one player who was not on anything was Joel Embiid because of the injuries. Okay, I get all that. Sure, no problem. Now, this is an issue that I hear a lot about. How the world is caught up. The world is much better than it was, in 92. And I agree with that. There's a lot of good international players in the NBA. More that was in the NBA in 92. But it's not like there was no good international players in 1992. There were. You had Dikembe Mutombo, Drazen Petrovic, who was All-NBA the next year, Dino Raja, Tony Kukoc, Keem Olajuwon, Detlef Schrempf, Arvydas Sabonis. Actually, Sabonis was in the NBA at that time, but Sarunas Marciulionis was good player until he got hurt. Manute Bol, who won a Defensive Player of the Year, he was pretty much worthless except for swatting shots. And then there were other players in the world that were great players, just didn't play in the NBA. Arvydas Sabonis and Oscar Schmidt of Brazil come to mind. They just didn't all play in the NBA. They played in other leagues throughout the world. Now, the big thing I always hear about is how much better the world is, and blah blah blah. And yeah, I would say the players like Luka Doncic, Giannis, Nikola Jokic, these players are definitely better collectively. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and so on and so forth, as the players in 1992, no doubt. But it's not like 92 had nobody. Hold on. All right, so like I was saying, you'd have to be a fool to say that the world hasn't gotten better collectively. There's better international players than there was in 1992. That's a fact. No denying it. I mean, it's obvious. But here's my thing too, though, that is a factor that never gets brought up. Never. I never hear this because, again, you're trying to build a narrative. Let's tell the whole story, like I'm doing right here. I agree. International players are much better than they were 32 years ago. But what about the American white player? Is that just an afterthought? there's not very many of them in the United States that are any good in the NBA. Let's face it. I went through and I just looked up points per game. I had to go all the way to 45th until I found an American white player. And that was Domantas Sabonis, who the only reason he's even an American is because his father, Arvydas Sabonis, from Yugoslavia at the time, moved here, played for the Portland Trailblazers. So he was born here, so technically he's an American. And then I had to go all the way to 63rd to find Chet Holmgren. So they got two of the top 63 points per game as an American white player. Now, there's like Austin Reeves. I mean, I don't know the NBA very well at all to now. But can you think of any white American players? Please leave them in the comments. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, anyway, like I was saying, the white American player is what's lacking. While the world is caught up, the U.S. is actually falling behind, taking a step back. And I think that's definitely a factor. We don't have very many good white players. There's a handful. Again, the best one by far is Domantas Sabonis, whose dad is actually from Yugoslavia. Now, back in 1992, I'll just give you some names of some American white players that were in the league at that time. Chris Mullin, who was third in the NBA in points per game, was first team All-NBA. Okay, there's right off the bat. He was on the Dream Team. Larry Bird, his last year, but the Dream Team guy. John Stockton, who was second team All-NBA, second team All-Defense, number one in assists per game. Let's say he's a pretty good player. Mark Price, third team All-NBA in 1992. Jeff Hornacek, who was an All-Star, averaged 20.1 points per game in 92. Dan Marley was an All-Star in 92, was an All-Defense the year before and the year after 92. And then you had some other players like Ronnie Cycli, Scott Skiles, Mark Eaton, Craig Elo, who I know everybody likes to laugh at. Oh, Craig Elo, he's a goofy, uncoordinated white guy. That was Jordan's competition. Craig Elo in 92, even though he was older, he was like probably 32 years old by that point, he was sixth in the NBA in three-point percentage. He was deadly, 41.3%. Laugh at that. Tell me 41.3% from three isn't good. Go ahead, tell me. That's what I thought. But anyway, yeah, there was some quality white players in the NBA. The 80s even had more, but the 90s did too. You know, the 2000s did. But for whatever reason, the white player just hasn't been focusing on basketball. Whatever they're focused on, I don't know. But we used to have some really good white players. You know, I mean, we just did. 70s, 60s, loaded with them, obviously. But the international players have come in here and they basically replaced the white player. And I'm not saying they're better than them. It's just that they play basketball, more basketball, whatever. I don't know what the case is. But like I said, you had a first, a second, and a third team All-NBA American white player in 1992. You didn't have any of that in 2024. You can't find it. Sabonis, I guess, he was third team All-NBA. But that's it. He's a rare exception. Chet Holmgren, Austin Reeves. I can't even think of any outside of those three. Those are the only three white American players I know of. I think the Lakers drafted a white American player. That's it. Now, let's look at head-to-head the 92 Dream Team and the 2024 Olympic team. So the 24 team, if you add up all the tenure these guys have had, 125 seasons these guys have played. No, I didn't count like Steph Curry have played like 6 games one year. Kevin Durant played only a few one year. I didn't count those. I mean, within reason. 125 years. Now, how many championships did all these 12 players, you know, Anthony Edwards, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Tyrese Halliburton, and Devin Booker? How many championships have these guys won? 15. However, Kevin Durant and Curry share 2 of those championships. So really, between the 2 of them, it was 4 total championships. And then Drew Holiday has 2, Derek White 1, and Jason Tatum 1 because they just won it. However, those 3 share one of those titles, so it's only 1 championship. They might each have a ring, but it's really 1 championship. So Drew Holiday has 1. Derek White, Holiday, and Tatum have 1 combined. There's 2. Curry and KD combined have 4. That's 6. And then LeBron James has 4. That's 10. Anthony Davis has 1, but that's with LeBron James. So they may have 15 rings individually, but they only have 10 actual championships that were won. Okay, how many did the 92 team have? Now they had 125 seasons. The 92 team only had 87 seasons. That's 2/3. Not even near as much. They had 12 championships. Magic 5, Bird 3, Pippen 2, and MJ 2, or 12 rings. But championships, Magic 5, Bird 3, Pippen and MJ collectively got 2. So that's also 10. So we're at a tie. But they played 2/3 as many seasons. How about MVPs? 2024. KD's got 1, Curry's got 2, Joel Embiid's got 1, and LeBron James has 4. 8 MVPs for the 2024 team. How about the 92 team? To that point, I'm not talking about after 92. It would be a bloodbath if we did that. Between Jordan and Barkley and Karl Malone, all those guys, David Robinson, they kill them. But as of after the season of 92 and this dream team occurred, Magic 3 MVPs, Bird 3 MVPs, and Jordan 3 MVPs. That's 9. 9 MVPs to the 2024 team's 8. Now again, they've only played 2/3 as many seasons as the 2024 team. How about Defensive Players of the Year? The 2024 team has 0. The 1992 team, Jordan's got 1, and David Robinson has 1. I think he won it that year, actually, 92. So that's 2 defensive players to their 0. How about league leaders? Led the league in some. What title do we got? Kevin Durant had 4 scoring titles. Steph Curry, 2 scoring titles, 1 steal title. Joel Embiid, 2 scoring titles. Anthony Davis, 3 block titles. LeBron James, 1 scoring, 1 assist title. And Tyrese Halliburton just got the assist title. That's pretty good. 15 league leaders among these 12 players. It's good. How'd the 92 team do at that point? Magic has 6 total. He has 4 assists and 2 steals titles. Michael Jordan had 6 scoring titles and 2 steals titles. Charles Barkley, a rebound title. John Stockton, I think he had 5 assist titles and 2 steals titles, or might have been 4 assist titles and 3 steals titles. He had 7 total. David Robinson had a rebound title and a block title for a total of 24 league leaders versus 15 for the 2024 team. So we can speak in hypotheticals about who would have done this, who would have did that, all day long. Now the rules would mean everything. If we're playing the 2024 rules, where you're allowed to lead with your forearm, do illegal screens, switch your pivot feet, do step back shots, which is the most ridiculous thing, it'll probably be an advantage to the team that's used to doing it that way. Now, if they were to play a 92, it would be a clean sweep. Then the 2024 team would get totally decimated. That's just my opinion. The interior toughness would just be too much for them. They would lean on Adebayo, Davis, and Embiid, those 3 guys, to try to do anything they could to stop Barkley, Malone, Robinson, and Ewing. And it would be very hard on them. I don't know what they think they would do, but they would not stop those guys on the interior. And Robinson, Malone, Ewing, those guys, even Barkley, all of them, they could shoot. They can shoot that 15, 20-foot jumper, even the 3-pointer. You know, it's only what, 22 feet or whatever. Yeah, Jordan could shoot it. Drexler could shoot it. They got shooters everywhere. I don't know where everybody gets this stuff from. Chris Mullin is as good a shooter as anybody on the 24 team, including Steph Curry. Look up Mullin's free throw and three-point shooting in his career. He just didn't do it as much, or he didn't focus only on the three-pointer, I guess you could say. But he was a beautiful shooter. Larry Bird, even Magic was a decent three-point shooter. Pretty much everybody on that team could shoot the jumper. You know, all of them, really. And even with that comparison I just did, that's with Christian Laettner being dead weight. He brought nothing to the table. But anyway, that's it for this video. I mean, these people that want to crap on the 92, they just don't understand. They weren't around back then to know. They're just looking at everything based on today's rules, that kind of thing, which is just a complete joke. And then they also base it on Larry Bird and Magic Johnson's health, as if those are the only two good players on the team. Are you kidding me? This roster was stacked. Like I just said, 9 of the 10 first and second team All-NBA players were on the Dream Team. The only one was Tim Hardaway. That's it. And there was other good players in the NBA in '92 that didn't make it, that could have easily, you know, made an impact on this team. Dennis Rodman, Joe Dumars, Gary Payton, Reggie Miller, Dominique Wilkins, if they needed scoring. Plenty of other players they could have called upon, no doubt about it. I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon played for the '96 Olympic team. Imagine him on that team. Everybody talks about Shaq. Shaq didn't even play in the NBA yet. Imagine Olajuwon on that team. Exactly. They could have called on a lot of other players. And this 24 team, not much. Jaylen Brown, he could have been an impactful player probably. Jalen Brunson, maybe. Who else you really got? Tyrese Maxey, he might be a decent player. But I don't know, Karl Anthony Towns? Who are you going to call on? That's what I'm saying. But 92, I mean, they were loaded, you know. There was so much talent in the NBA, it wasn't even funny. And it wasn't contingent on Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. It wasn't. And Magic was balling out in the Olympics. So anyway, that's it for this video. It's one I just kind of threw together. You know, it is ridiculous that these people are saying stuff they don't know anything about. The 92 Dream Team had shooters. They played team basketball. They had interior. They had perimeter. And most of all, they had defense. I mean, if they would have just thrown out their 5 all-defensive players, I think they would have shut the 24 down. That would have been Stockton, Jordan, Pippen, Karl Malone, and David Robinson. I'd like to see how many points you think you're going to score on that team. I mean, Pippen and Jordan alone, you know, shut down most of the NBA, and then they get Karl Malone, David Robinson, and Stockton. Yeah, good luck. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see where there's any advantage on the 24 team at all. You know, just isn't. I just don't see it. Especially they played like a neutral rules. Say like the rules of 2008. That was 16 years ago. And that was 16 years past the Dream Team. The rules of 2008, I say that would be pretty even. There was no step back going on. There was no illegal screens going on. You couldn't shuffle your pivot feet. You weren't allowed to carry. I mean, you could carry a little bit, but no blatant carrying like they do today. But anyway, sorry about the rambling. You know, this is an opinion video as much as anything, and that's why I don't really like to do them, because we can't prove anything. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.